Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Wicked Art. It's Wicked here, and it's time for our Monday art lesson. And I figured today we can talk about drawing mouths on your characters to give them expression and stuff like that. So we'll do a couple male, couple female. And if you put this stuff into practice, and you should find yourself getting better at drawing the line work for it. Another good way to do it is to kind of just take pictures of yourself or find pictures of people just making different facial expressions. But we're going to start. So we're going to start with something simple first, which is obviously just a normal face, right? So something as simple as just drawing the shape of the lips. You want to give somebody a nice stern look, and this will be for a male first, right? Um, and then, we can come in here and draw the bottom lip. At least that's what I like to do with males, is just only draw the bottom lip of it. And then, we have that little indentation that comes in. So that's something as simple as that. And then you just come in from the mouth. And then you can start getting into things like heavy, expressions, right? Like somebody who wants to yell. So now we're talking about shaping the mouth, right? So we want to make sure that we put in uh, different curvatures showing the extension of the mouth. So now I have a nice opening to my mouth. Now, you can add as little or as much detail as you would like. So, for example, I can come in here and I could draw this shape like this for the teeth, right? And then I could come back here and technically I could leave that like that, but if I wanted to, I could draw little subtle lines for my teeth, right? I could add in a few little extra details like some of the gums being exposed just so that I could see it. Same thing at the front here. I could come in and we could add some lines for our teeth. And I could just kind of fill that all in black. You could draw a tongue in there if you wanted to, but for this mouth, we're just going to leave it dark inside there. Okay. Now it doesn't end there. Now if you're doing like anime or something, that would be enough to go on. But I want to make sure that I get for the style that I like to draw in with showing the mouth. I can get that bottom lip in there. And then the same top, we kind of have that little groove comes in there. I'm going to add like another line just for some exaggeration of the face to show it stretching. But it's all about the shape and the form that you go with, right? So again, what's some other exaggeration we can do? We can come out and we want to do a smile. So I'm going to stretch the face out, same way I would do with this top line. There's no like major change to the face. And we kind of curve it to a smaller shape down here towards the bottom. right? And let that focus back in. Okay, so we have a shape like that. Okay, and then again, I can do like right here. I could show as little or as much detail as I want, so I can come through and kind of just draw my lines like this. Maybe put a little groove of a tooth right in here. And then I could do simple things like this area out to the edge. We can kind of thicken that up into the curve to help give it some depth. Right, same thing up here into the teeth. We can kind of thicken that curve. Right there into the mouth. And put some creases in there just to kind of show a little bit extra to the smile, right? A little bit of a extra line curve. And again, I'm going to stick with my style, but if you're drawing an anime or something, you could just leave it like that. But that could be our male smile right there. Just like that, right? So kind of over exaggerating it a little bit. You can come in and do you know, let's take it down a notch. Let's go to something a little bit more of a subtle smile. So instead of opening the mouth a lot, we can open the mouth just a little bit, right? So I could heavily angle that back. Just like that. And then we could kind of thicken this curve right here. And then back here on this end, we could kind of color that in a little bit there. So we wouldn't see too much of the teeth, but maybe we have a little bit of some gum exposure. And you don't have to add that. You could just leave it exactly how we'd drawn it to begin with. Again, I'm going to put that lip in here. You don't have to. You could just leave it like that if you're looking to just draw anime faces. Again, we have like more of a smirk now, right? Something else you could do, like if you want to, we'll do one more male and then we'll work on some female. Something else you could do is like if you wanted to kind of talk a little bit, we could come in here and kind of just stretch that out the same way. So this would be kind of like just a subtle talking kind of mouth. And what you can do is after you're done drawing these, you can save these for reference later so that you can use them. But we're going to come in here, we're going to draw our teeth. And we're just going to take those back to here. Again, add as little or as much detail as you want. Just don't go overboard with it. So we can be nice and subtle. Just like that. So you got kind of like more of a simplistic, just kind of talking look to it. You can put any creases that you want to put into the mouth. Again, I'm going to add in my lip, but you don't have to if you're just doing anime. Okay. So this will be our male mouth ideas. But again, you get the point. We're just kind of moving and shaping different things to kind of give us more of a sense of an action piece of some kind going on. And you know what, we'll do one more just because I want to show you more of a like frontal view of the mouth. I'm still using the same principles, right? I'm kind of opening the mouth up, right? And then what I'm doing is exposing my teeth right inside here. Again, you can choose to show as little or as much of the teeth definition that you want. So if I wanted to add some in there, I could go like that. Okay, and then down in here, so our mouth is going to be really wide open. So the amount of teeth you're going to see is going to be more, but get thinner down towards the base. Come back out, and then I could do, a simple kind of tongue shape in there. And I'm just going to fill that in dark. Around the tongue. Just like that. Now again, for an anime face, you just leave it alone as is. You don't have to add anything to it. If you want to add some wrinkle line details, you can. It just kind of shows the base of the mouth is opening more. Really stretch out. Again, I'm going to do what I usually do, just giving a bottom lip to the male. Right? And that pretty much covers, our male faces. With females, the process is going to still be the same. There's really not going to be a huge change between it, just other than to say that how we draw the lips on there. Okay, so just for an example, we'll do a few female lips. Now that's not gonna 100% necessarily say you have to do it this way. But you can still, adjust. I guess what I'm getting at is the size of the lips, right? So if you want to make them have an over exaggerated lip size, then that's completely okay and on you. But we're going to essentially do the same thing, right? I'm going to come in and draw my shape. We're going to start, since I already started opening it to begin with, we'll start with an open female mouth. Okay, again, I can draw as little or as much teeth detail that I want. Okay, so I can really kind of focus in on these edges here, giving it some darkness. Okay, so see, we're still doing the basic same premise that we do for that. The only difference is we're going to come in now and we're going to draw an upper and a bottom lip. All right, so there's the top part of my lips, and I can come out from this corner. And draw the bottom. You still have that little indent, but whether you want to include that or not, that's completely up to you. You know, just drawing the lips normal, as enclosed. We can just come in and still kind of do that same kind of a wave pattern. This would just be a normal mouth closed. Right? And then we can come out here. And again, you can change the lips to whatever size you want. Just depends on the character you're drawing. So that would be a normal mouth closed for a female, right? But here's where things start getting trickier, because the more you open the mouth, the thicker your lips can tend to look. And you kind of have to decide from there how you're going to draw them. So for example, if we did like just a straightforward kind of scream, or somebody who's just maybe talking but they're just really widening their mouth open, right? So we can use this same basic shape here. Okay, again, deciding whether to show as little or as much teeth as you want. Okay, and then however much teeth are going to be shown down here on the bottom. So much like we did with the male mouth, I can give the impression of a tongue. And we can just fill that in. Kind of darken up these lines up here. Okay, so I have my mouth open. And then from there, we're going to have to compensate for the mouth being open, which can tend to increase the size of the lips that you're making, how far they're going to stretch, and into what position. So like since my mouth is open, as I get more down towards here, I can get those rounded shapes of the lip in there that way. I could probably pull in that line a little bit more, right? And so it would also vary, the different angles would make it, however, so like if I wanted to draw one that was more angled from the side, we can do that same kind of shape, but I can make this side a little longer, right? So we can show a little bit of a turn to it. And then what I like to do is I like to kind of bump out the lip from there, kind of give it that curve. And then that allows me to come in and kind of start higher. On the lips from there. Okay, again, you can put in little details if you want. It's completely up to you. Okay, so what's some other things we could do if somebody was talking from the side? So if she was speaking to somebody subtly, so this is more for like if you're trying to do like a comic or a specific scene or something like that. Again, we can kind of just barely open the mouth. Again, show as little or as much teeth as you want. That choice is up to you. Okay, I'll make sure I kind of curve out. Have that shape there. And then again, since our face is kind of turned, we can kind of go out for a little bump right here, and then just add that curve back in. And again, it's just completely up to you on how you want to design and do these things. Okay, so we'll do one last one for talking. So another one that I like to use when like someone is just kind of like explaining thing with maybe like a little attitude is I'll draw this kind of shape like this and take that down, and then down in here we'll have a much more like closed mouth leading right inside to there, and then I'll kind of have a little bit of some shading like right down in here, and then back here in the corner do the same thing, just kind of have a little bit of some shading right there, and then we can kind of over exaggerate the curve of the lip, give it almost kind of like a snarky look, or they're explaining something with confidence, you know. And then the bottom of the lip is simply the same, kind of bump out. Taking it right into there. Okay. And then we're going to do one more of an open mouth kind of thing. So if they were kind of just talking with a smile, this is where what I was getting to, where it gets hard, right? So let's say we're doing a big forward front facing smile, right? Then I want to take that down, but they're going to have their mouth open while they're smiling and talking. This is where things can tend to get a little bit more difficult, because you're really stretching the mouth, you're really stretching the lips. So again, I can come in here with my teeth, right? And I'll have that, and then I'll have a little bit on the bottom, and then we can kind of do like we did for the mouth up here, where we don't have a tongue exposed. So I can just fill that in. Not mean to do that. Sorry, my hand shakes sometimes. Just fill that in nice and dark, but here's where it comes tricky, because we're so stretched out. You got to find a way to compensate enough to make the upper lip right here, right? So I can put my little crease in. I'm going to stay kind of relatively thin. And as I get here, we're going to do that slight little bump. And stretch that out. Then right here, we're going to put way more of a curve coming out from the smile. And we're just going to have to round it like that. And that's that. Okay? So that's it for our lesson on how to draw mouths. I hope it was helpful. I'd love to see how you did and what you do for yours. Leave me a comment. It helps the channel, helps me get you the content you want. so that I can make the videos you want to see. If you don't let me know, I'm just going to keep winging it. But other than that, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Add to the students that are continuing to grow. I love teaching. Remember to practice. And if you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. I'd be glad to make a video for you on anything. It could just be how to draw a character or whatever. Just let me know down in the comments. Other than that, thank you for stopping by. Have a good day. Remember to keep sketching. And I will see you in the next one. All right? Bye.